Imagine a life where everything you ever dreamed came true. The girl that you liked, the money, the power, the success. How would that alter your perception on reality? But you're still in the soul trap prison. It's just that you have more like you have more amenities, you have more accessibility to certain things that make you feel more comfortable in the matrix. But you're still pretty much trapped, right? So I was thinking, for a long time, people have always talked about the passing away of the body and the flesh. This goes back to ancient times. And back in those days, people were more open and willing to talk about it than we are now. Nowadays, people want to act like we're going to live forever. And all these things that go on just are going to be there forever. And it's not the case. You know, some argument that happened in medieval England 500 years ago, those people who had an argument over somebody stole somebody's chicken or something like that, or somebody took somebody's goat. In that period of time, it was a very important thing. Those people were about to fight, get the lords involved, get the Night's Watch or whoever they had to get, get them involved. But for the most part, the names of those people who got into that argument are lost to time. Hell, if their village is probably not even there anymore, it's probably a car factory or a mall now or something. So you see how trivial that life really is. Like, you see how trivial that these small events in life are, but these quote unquote small events, they shape our life. They have a terrifyingly powerful effect on our psyche and our destiny in most cases. You know, the time when you look into your friend's eyes, and let's say you have something good happen to you, and you look into your friend's eyes, and instead of seeing happiness for you, you see that tinge of jealousy. You see envy, and you see it in people's eyes. You can look in somebody's eyes, and you can tell if they're jealous of you. Like, you can look in somebody's eyes, you can tell instantly if they're jealous of you just by how they look. It's like an evil little look in their eyes. And it's like some people don't even notice it. Like, really wicked people, it seems like they don't even try to hide it because they don't even notice it because it's just who they really are. And a lot of us, unfortunately, we're surrounded by a myriad of just negative influences and negative events in our life. And it's hard, man, to find yourself in certain circumstances where financial stability is really all you need, but you keep struggling with money, you keep struggling with your psychology, you keep struggling with everything, and life just turns to one big giant battlefield, honestly. And you start to question existence, you start to question your place in the universe, you start to question, what is the universe, how did the universe come to be, and who made it and why. Then you come to Gnosticism, and I don't know if that's 100% the truth, but it explains it better than any other religion that I had explained to me. But still, I don't trust anything. You know what I mean? My radars are still up. I don't 100% believe in anything. I can go in one direction and see it, but I'm not going to put my full 100% faith in it just yet till I have a full more information. But I will say that I have like a 98% chance of that being real. But still, you always got to keep your mind open, and you always got to do your own independent research, study, analyzation, and evaluation and calculations. You always got to do that. That's how you gain smarter, or that's how you become more smarter. And that's how you gain wisdom and gain per certain perspectives and certain perspectives and perceptions on certain things. Right? We look at certain things from multiple views, but this society is just tiring. People, they fight over the same thing. You know, the government is obviously orchestrating certain things. Like, you see what's happening in Spain. You can tell that's a government orchestrated just to piss people off, just to get people to fight amongst each other, and just to cause utter chaos amongst the streets. It's absolutely horrendous how this world works. How you see glimpses of beauty here and there, but it's just intertwined and surrounded by evil and wickedness and vileness, and it's depressing. And being a guy in this position, life is going to come at you hard. Life is going to be merciless for guys like us. We're going to have to go through hell. We're going to have to be freaking homeless. We're going to have to be starving at times. We're going to have to be broke. Even if we have a job, it's still a joke, because go up to your, like, go up to a girl who's like your dream crush and tell her what your current occupation is and see if that gets her excited for pleasure, and that's, it sucks, man. That's how I know this is a hell realm, really. Have you ever just woke up out of bed and was like, you know what, I just don't want to get up. I just want to sit here all day and look at the ceiling because I'm just tired of life. I'm tired of putting my clothes on or taking a shower first and putting my clothes on and putting deodorant, brushing my teeth, doing this, doing that. Like, it's just such a cycle. When you get depressed, sometimes your mind gets recalibrated in a way where you just don't care. You don't care about the 9 to 5. You don't care about, what people feel about you, what people say about you. You just don't give a fuck. And sometimes that leads people to kind of dislike you because you have a personality of rebellion against the system. Most people, they have a personality that's in compliance with the system. They're in compliance with the system and they're in alliance with the system. So when they see somebody like you who totally comes out of nowhere and starts to defy the system, well, you're a problem. You're a thorn in their backside. So the Hylics, the agents, the NPCs, they get together and they try to stop people like us who see the world for the evil place that it is. It's extremely difficult to have dreams in a world like this, to have inspirations, to be a creative person. Have you noticed that all these video game companies, they're always firing their staff and they're always making remakes of remakes, and the remakes are somehow more terrible than the previous games? It's because they fire the people that make the actual games. It's not the company. It's not Capcom or Nintendo or whatever. It's the people behind it. The people, the game developers, their coding, their ideas, their unique way of creating video games. And when they get fired, that flavor is lost. That's why a lot of video games over time, the series gets whack. Because they fire all the good people and they replace them with just horrible people that only know how to use Unreal Engine 5. And Unreal it's a good engine, but it's just the developers are not talented enough to really code in that engine yet. That's why you have people just be having all types of problems with Unreal Engine. It's ridiculous. If I had a video game company, I would design my own video game engine, my own physics and my own video game engine, and I'll hire developers who want to stay with the team. I'm not trying to fire people and get rid of people. When I hire somebody talented, I want you to stay with the team, Let's build something together. Let's create together. But in this world, bro, it's hard to find people that want to create, especially doing things like make music or try to build a video game or try to make a podcast or something like that, because everybody got to be on agreement. And then plus you have to like the people, like me personally, like I get along with very few people, because most people always seem to want to cause trouble and cause problems just because they can. No other reason but because they can. So I kind of keep my distance away from all that nonsense because it's nonsense. And you want to be around people that don't like, causing problems, especially as a young man. You have your whole life ahead of you, as they say, but really just a life of working a 9 to 5 and paying bills, nothing really special, But if you do get lucky, you want to give yourself a chance. You don't hang around certain individuals that are always causing problems, that are always talking and gossiping about people, that when they get caught for doing something wrong, they don't want to take responsibility for it. They want to try to blame others, Yeah, right? Even though they're the ones that are being an asshole. You ever run into those people? Like, they're the ones that you clearly see are starting problems. They're clearly going around starting trouble. And then when somebody does something to them, they start to bitch or complain, oh, that person's doing that to me, they're doing that to me. Is that, weren't you just harassing people and doing all this evil shit? And now when somebody does that back to you, you start to cry wolf, or you start to cry like a little girl. It's like these, these people are diabolical, man. That's why I stay away from a lot of people. That's why I stay away from majority of people. It's ridiculous. It's like something cold and calculated created this universe, and they created this universe to try to get as much negative energetic manifestation or frequency from us. And you can see it everywhere you go. You see it, man. This world that we live in, man, is not what it seems. It's some type of soul-torturing reality that's designed to break you. Notice how there's never enough. There's always scarcity. There's artificially created scarcity, but yet your God in that Bible can create entire heavens, but he can't create a world where everybody has enough. So that means he either doesn't have the power to do it or he's not doing it on purpose, which is generating negative energetic manifestational frequency called Loosh, right? By Mr. Monroe. So what is it? It has to be something, and I can just look at this world and how it is, and I can tell that this world is not created by a loving being. It's created by some being that's an evil thing. It's a thing that's a nightmare. Look at our lives. Look at the way it's designed. A lot of us are going through a lot. A lot of men are struggling psychologically. A lot of men are struggling, economically. A lot of men are just struggling, period. There's no outlet, and there's a system that's hell bent on breaking your confidence, and you're always around some negative crap. You notice that there's always events going on. Boom, this event happens. Boom, then another event happens. Boom, then another event. And you notice it's happening to a person like you that doesn't want problems. But these events don't happen to people that are looking for it. There's people out there that are looking for problems. They're looking to fight with somebody. They're looking to troll. They're looking to do this online. And yet they never run into the people that are looking to do that. Instead, you'll have people that will find you and try to attack you out of nowhere. And you're the type of person that you don't even what the it's just this is so foreign to you to try to attack somebody you never met. So you don't even engage with it because it's weird. It's odd. And you will encounter people like that and you just want to mind your business and stay out the way and not bother nobody. But then you will encounter that. You think that's a coincidence? There's a millions of YouTube channels out there, yet your cousin finds your channel. You don't even YouTube doesn't even pay a lot of money. Even if you're monetized in spaces like this, how much money do you think it pays? $1 million? It pays nothing. It pays pennies. It pays trash. And yet you got people in your family following you and watching you. It's fucking weird. You don't even have 100,000 subscribers yet. You're not even nobody on YouTube. You don't even get views like that. And yet people are treating you like you're something more that's weird. Very odd world we live in, man. Very strange, and you got to be very astute, and you got to watch your back at all times because there's always somebody trying to strike at you in the shadows. There's always somebody trying to do battle. There's always somebody trying to destroy your happiness and peace and replace it with chaos and disruptions. So keep your head strong, guys, and make sure we try to survive this battle in the sci-fi Stalingrad, man. I just wish that the world was a different place, But with that being said, you guys have a good night and good day, whatever, I'm finna go cope, Peace.